Hello everyone, I am the Aries, and today is Sunday, July something or another, almost August. Hope everyone is doing okay today. So today, I guess I'll talk a little bit about energy. Oh, and also I want to talk about a few other things, providing I can remember them. First thing I'd like to talk about, trolls. And I know I've done this video before, but I keep seeing them on chats and everything, and there's something up with these QAnon people. These people are up to no good. They are aware of the spiritual forces, but they take a dark path in them. I'd like to invite everybody to my to my Twitter channel, Frost Winters Tarot. I am doing my Manifest Justice there. Hopefully I can remember to put a link in the description. I am quite satisfied with some of the results. I'm doing a whole bunch of missing persons read because I want to make a database. I'm doing this for two reasons. One, it could help some people. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, psychics, this, that, whatever. Especially in the Summer Wells case. Mystic Brady, I think she was talking about how Don Wells, the father, didn't really want the help of psychics. And I'm thinking to myself, why not? People are offering to help find your missing daughter, and you're refusing them. Now, of course, he wants to point out his little Bible or whatever, but personally, I think there's something else up with this whole case. Because it's not unheard of parents to bullshit their children. Not making any accusations, of course, but, well, I think we need to try to keep an eye on him as well, just in case. I don't know if anyone else feels it, but there seems to be some sort of change in the air. I know personally, for my own personal case, I seem to be waiting on something. I'm not sure what, but I'm waiting on something or someone. Maybe my divine counterpart. I am supposed to be working with other people to get the mission accomplished. And I know a lot of other people in the whole collective are waiting for their divine counterparts as well. Which brings me to the question. When we talk about divine counterparts and twin flames, are we talking about other people in the spiritual world? Because if they're regular people in the normal world with their regular bullshit, unawakened people, I can't understand why some of you people think they're divine counterparts or twin flames, because people who aren't in our world just are not in the energetic exchange. And there is such a thing as an energetic exchange. That's the whole collective consciousness or what have you. And speaking about that, you know, as you all know, I travel through all the chats or whatever. There's something up with some of these readers. My friend Leah from Mystic Essentials. Oh, Lord. Enlightened Mystic Essentials. Oh. My friend Leah, she has a chat. She has a channel here. Anyway, she was talking about, she was sidelined for a little bit. I think she got in an accident, her and a little girl. Prayers to you all. Hope you're on a speedy recovery. But she had to take a little bit of time off. And she noticed something, that you have a lot of people getting into tarot these days. But she made the point that a lot of these people are trying to seem to just get in there not knowing what they're doing, or just in it to try to make some money. Now, I'm conflicted. On the one hand, we need to bring in new people. On the other hand, new people need to come in, find a mentor, learn the cards, learn the craft, and then go out and make money, and then go out and give people reads for on a professional basis. Because I've gone to a couple chats when the readers just seemed like didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I don't want to mention any names, but one Jenny Farmer, she had a channel on there, but she said, she comes out and sits there and says, oh, tarot is fake, it's fake. But then the next day she's still doing readings. Clearly to me this seems that trying to profit off of something you believe is a lie. If I don't believe in something, I'm not going to waste my time doing it, and I'm not going to try to make money off of it because I'm blind to people. And the same thing goes for another reader, Lone Wolf. Well, I don't want to mention her names. I'm not even sure what the hell she was up to. I mean, on one video she sits there and says, we're all just reading our own energies, blah 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 blah. Now, if you don't have the skill to read other people's, of course you're just going to be reading your own energies. If you're not, but everyone can read other people's energies, but you got to train for that. So anyway, this reader, she's like, if you're not giving me money, get off my channel. I'll call the cops. How she gets from point A to B is beyond me, but she sits there and says, if you're a man, I want $1,000 for a reading. And then she gets on a stripper pole and starts shaking her ass. True story. I'm not gonna lie, I stuck around to see what else she was gonna say, but there's a whole bunch of ass slapping or whatever. And while entertaining, wasn't really helpful. So, you know, to anyone who's going to get into tarot, and I imagine this video is going to be for people in the future because time is an illusion, blah, 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 blah. But if you're just getting into tarot, find a mentor. Learn the cards, especially if you want to read for other people instead of just yourself. Now, I'm not the best tarot reader, and my energies will always get in the way of these cards. But that's how I know that you can read other people's energies, because I've seen for myself that one can harness their energies and project them wherever they want to. I did one manifestation challenge when I came up with my new name for my other channel, Sun Magician Emperor Star. I think I actually put this up on my Twitter page, the challenge itself. But anyway, I wanted to practice my energies, which is really where my real skills lie anyway. So I'll grab a card and I'll think about it, and then I'll put that energy in myself and project it outwards. See, the Hermit card kind of goes along with what I'm saying now. Looking within, understanding your skills, finding that knowledge that's deep within. Let's see, where was I? Oh, I know I put it off already. I know I've said I'll put it off, and I am putting it off, but I've done a little bit on my Twitter page. It's time for an outreach to the LGBT community. This has to be done because there's just too much bullshit going on in this world. There was this case in Georgia, I believe it was, 3 family members, fairly young people. I don't think anyone was older than 25, but they sat there and carved "I'm gay" on some 11-year-old's forehead. Now, they were arrested, of course, but you gotta be out of your mind to sit here and think that shit like that is cool. What gives people the right to believe that it's okay to hurt other people because they're LGBT or because they're black or because they're anything else? Do you know there are some civilizations in this universe that would kill to have the level of diversity that we have in this human population? But what do instead? We sit there and fight each other. Instead of celebrating diversity, instead of saying, wow, that's cool that you're different from me. No, we gonna say, yo, you're different from me, so I'm gonna sit there and badmouth you, or I'm gonna sit here and treat you like trash, or abuse you, or whatever. A whole bunch of nonsense. The differences in race and all that, just decoration. It's such a small part of what it is to be a human. But yet and still we want to make such a big deal about it. Also, regarding the LGBT community, too much crime is going on against these people. And I'm sick and tired of these so-called religious people condoning this bullshit behavior. I got a couple of other cases illustrated on my Twitter page. Like I said, we've got to reach out for this community. We've got to bring them to the spiritual family. And it helps everyone if we do. Everyone. Everyone wins if we do. 1, we get to protect people. 2, all you readers out there, new clientele. 3, they understand that they're loved by everyone and that the divine loved them just as well as anyone else. It works out. So that's why I've got to make this, that's why I got to go make this reach out effort. You know, I really got to get better at public speaking, but it is what it is. Speaking of race, we've got to fix this problem. Now, I've told you before, this QAnon, the evangelicals, and the Trump crowd, they're up to something. And really, honestly, and I know this is going to sound strange, but of these 3, Trump is probably the most innocent one in the group, because Trump is just a narcissistic fool who will go along with anybody who's going to stroke his ego. But the evangelicals, I think they've been manipulated by these QAnon people. And these QAnon people, they have a dark agenda. Hopefully Trump will wake up and be like, well, hopefully he'll wake up, but, well, the way he goes, I wouldn't have too much hope in that. But it's up for everyone else to stand up against him. Now, I think you see a lot of conflict in the Southern Baptist Convention now because of the whole critical race theory. Now, I'll be honest, I've not read too much about it, but from what I understand, that you have a whole bunch of well, I might as well say it, white supremacist types who want to sit there and try to make this into something else. Now, again, I've not read all of it, but from what I do understand, critical race theory is just a discussion about how racism has shaped this country. And it has shaped this country. You know, you can't sit there and whitewash history. You can't. You have to take the good and with the bad. You take them both and there you have the facts of life. Yeah, the facts of life. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with discussing things, because it's with the discussion of these problems that we overcome them. Now, there's a difference between being prejudiced and being racist. And we're all prejudiced about something or another. It may not be race, but everyone has a prejudice about something or another. But the thing is, you can overcome prejudice by getting to know someone you're prejudiced against and seeing that, hey, look, not everyone is like what I thought they were. Or just understanding other people. That's how you overcome prejudice. Racism, racist people probably know they're prejudiced and don't care and like it. It doesn't matter what good you could show them of another person, in another race, because they're still going to say, they're not like me, so I'm not for them. That's racism. And the only thing that can help racism is for people to look within. A prejudiced person, you can show them something, and hopefully they'll get it. But a racist person has to overcome their own racism within themselves. Now, you have to understand there is a thing called the karma of nations. And you look at what's happening in America, and you look what's happening in the West, and I think something's going on in South Africa right now. A white person today might not have owned a slave, but America owned slaves. And there are certain people in this country who are on top of things because of that racism was allowed. And so you have to address that. Now, you don't want to take money or anything out or opportunities out of other people's pockets today. But a nation does have to address the wrongs it's done from the past. It simply does. And you see a lot, you hear a lot in the whole QAnon group talking about white nations are declining or people are out to get the white man. No, that's just, the universe has to readjust. Karma has to be paid. Because we don't want people at the bottom of society who were born at the bottom of society and who can't get out of the bottom of society because of what society once allowed. So you have to address these things. You have to change things. And if some people's feelings are hurt or some people feel like they're being attacked, so be it. These things have to change. But now we see what's going on in the West, in America. Things are being reordered to make things more fair for all people. However, in the East, you see the CCP, that's the Chinese Communist Party, trying to take advantage of this fact. They're going to sit there and say, well, look, these people are on a decline, so we're going to take over and do the same things that they did to enrich ourselves. That's not going to be allowed either. Because the divine are not going to sit here and fix one part of the world only to let the other part of the world do the same bullshit. Not going to happen. So I get on Twitter a lot and I let the CCP know, look, it's just not going to happen. Funny story. Someone sent me a message on Twitter talking about, you need to educate yourself. Even America and the UN says that Taiwan is a part of China. I'm like, I don't give a crap what the US said. I don't give a shit what the UN said about it. Taiwan is a nation in and of itself, or it should be, and one day it will be, officially. There are many people in the spiritual family who live in Taiwan. And if you think I'm going to sit here and let those people suffer under the CCP's bullshit rules, no. I've been given divine gifts. I've been given a mandate to help. I've been told I need to try to dish out justice what I can in this world. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm using my gifts, my divinity, to change what I can. to dish out this judgment. Of course, I didn't get a response back, so I don't know. I'll probably sit there and say something else, because we cannot allow the CCP to make this world even worse. And of course, what they're going to sit there and say, well, look, you're just listening to Western propaganda. Now, I understand that nations play the propaganda game, but I also understand that there's such a thing as deflection, and that the CCP is quite guilty of that. Don't worry about what we're doing to the Taiwanese people. Worry about what you've done to these other people. And then they'll sit there and say, well, look what you've done to black people. Now, the CCP doesn't give a crap about a black man. He doesn't. What I heard, Black Panther didn't even do that well in China because people were too dark in it. So, you know, the CCP doesn't give a shit about the black man, but they will use that in order to shut people up. Luckily, I don't play favorites. My mission is to help everyone in this world. I also pointed out to the person who was crying to me on Twitter how no one in Hong Kong, Tibet, or Taiwan wants Chinese rule, because they know what's in store for them. Look at what happened in Tiananmen Square. When was that? 88, 89? Somewhere around there. And I remember that. Yes, I am that old. But I remember that. People wanting freedom, democracy. And they send in the tanks, their own people. Make no mistake about it. Xi Jinping is no better than Chairman Mao. Both a bunch of sadistic, power-mad fools. You look at China now, it's like, is the Cultural Revolution coming again? And then, with the CCP, what they're going to do, they're going to play the race game too. They're going to get in the race game, because they're going to sit there and tell all the people, all Asian peoples, all Chinese people who are across this world, they're going to tell them, look, you should side with us because you're one of us. Look at what these other people are doing to you and to other races. Now, I talked to a couple readers, Asian readers, who, well, one in particular, who just didn't seem to care too much that the CCP was doing what it's doing. Of course, she wasn't in China. She was in Australia, I believe. And there is such a thing as Asian hate for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but it is what it is, I guess. So they're going to play both sides against the middle to get what they want. We have to be aware of what they're going to try to do. Because all it is, the CCP is filled with that devil energy. That devil energy is also in North Korea. That devil energy you can sit there and see in the Trump supporters. Trump too, but he's more of an idiot than anything else. Now, I honestly think that he's just being manipulated. Now, he's an asshole, but I think the real threat with Trump is mostly his followers. Because if everyone else kissed Trump's ass, he'd sell out those evangelicals real quick. And these evangelicals, there's something up with these people. I think they've been influenced by QAnon as well, because I think QAnon wants to, well, the evangelicals, I don't know if QAnon put this in their heads or what, but the evangelicals, a lot of them seem to want to anoint Trump as next Jesus, or maybe Jesus himself. Because if you remember how a lot of them said Obama was the Antichrist, well, okay, who came after Obama? Trump. And look how they stick with Trump. I'm just saying. Oh, also, Vladimir Putin has a lot of that devil energy in him as well. Because look at what Russia's doing. And Russia's just slick with what they're doing. They are. But he's ex-KGB, so of course he would be. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Oh. You know, I really should write something down before I come on here. It would help with the rambling. So the stages of spiritual awakening. Now, as I said, I'm going to go to the LG community and try to get people interested in our world and other communities as well. But how do we do this still? I'm thinking that, one, because how do you make the argument, hey look, spirituality is real. And it is real, and and we can show them proof that they can see for themselves, and they won't have to rely on what other people sit there and say, which is what religions do. So I think the approach I'm going to sit there and use is, everyone get a birth chart. Look at how accurate it is in your life. Now the next thing you want to do is understand energies. So that's when you go into look at a little bit into tarot, understanding energies. And then after that, you can find others in the spiritual community who will help you further along in your journey to spiritual awakeness or what have you. Because there is a doorway that you can open, that needs to be opened. And I know that for a fact because my friend Leah, whose chat I still can't remember. Oh, Enlightened Mystique Essentials. She had this video on there, and this is when I was first looking into getting into tarot. Not really even serious, but just, hey, this is a cool world. What's going on here? And she was like, you need to open that spiritual doorway. And I kept thinking, how? How do I open that doorway? What is that spiritual doorway? But you know what? When she put that video out, that night, I had a dream and I opened that spiritual doorway. It was a sense that everything that I learned wasn't quite right. So in order for you to open that spiritual doorway, you have to have an open heart and open mind to understand that, look, you might have been lied to your whole life. Everything you believe might not be everything that there is. Now, if you can do that, you can open that spiritual doorway. That reminds me, I had to get in touch with Leah because if she opened that doorway for me, I know that her videos can open it for other people. I'd like to do a collaboration with her about something like that. I have no idea why I'm shuffling. Come on, universe, give me something I could use to go along with what I'm talking about. We have the Emperor. Shocking, huh? And we have the Nine of Wands. Now, it did come out in reverse, and I think I'll take it in reverse, I suppose. So we have the Emperor making decisions, not being burdened. Because why would he? He's telling the truth. He's telling you things that people need to hear. I'm not about to go stuff on this one. I'll just pull one. Even better. We have the Five of Cups. Thinking about regrets, but having cups, opportunities behind you. And we had a King of Pentacles. Now I did kind of land that way, but I don't feel I should take it that way, you know, because I think that we have to build something, be successful in something, have some kind of material wealth in what we're doing. And the Six of Cups. Past life associations, friendships, someone coming back. Well, we're all supposed to be working together, and you know, and divine counterparts, oftentimes they're from other pastimes, past lives or whatever. The Lovers. Well, okay, self-explanatory. Although doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. I mean, because what we do, this universe that we're in, it's all about love. We need to embody the energy of love. We don't need conflict. We need more love. Well, let's see if I can get one card from the Angels and Ancestors deck. Well, I'm sorry, the Archangel Power Tarot card deck. And of course, you know, the angels are quite a chatty bunch. They always have something to say. Let's see. Who wants to say something? Who wants to say something? Oh, well, look. Oh, well, look what we have again. The Lovers, the Empress, and the Three of Ariel. Do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner. Time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded. Luxurious or abundant resources. Well, that kind of goes along with that King of Pentacles there. And we have the Lovers from a new deck. Make choices from your heart. Deeply emotional commitments. The power of love. Well, embrace the energy of love. And you see, when cards pop up like this, we can see that there's something to it, a force behind it. We can see this much more clearer than people who rely on a book can. Because at the end of the day, a religion is just man's word. And the title God is just a title that man gave to Source, to the Supreme Being, to that which was before anything could